My name is Dino. I'm the founder of Annual Profit Strategies here in America. And you should have received this flyer, how you can double your profits in 7 to 10 months without spending an extra dollar on marketing or advertising. So that's what I want to talk about today. And I want to thank you for the opportunity to allow me to share some proven business strategies on how you can actually triple your leads, double your sales, increase your profits. This presentation may be an eye-opener for many of you, and it may prompt some questions. And if so, we're going to reserve some time at the end to answer as many questions as time allows. But I want you to relax. I want you to absorb as much as possible, because there is not going to be an offer for you to buy anything after this presentation is over. It's going to be some dynamic, great information that's going to actually help you in your business. So I want you to keep that in mind. I want to give a shout out to our beloved sponsor, Denise Pidat, and the Mauritian Business Network and Six Figure Coach Magazine. And I also want to give an honorable mention to Devenja Nagawa for introducing me to Denise and the network. So before Devenja came to Canada, he was employed there in marketing in a few leading companies there in Mauritius, such as Gray's, Margarine Industries Limited. In Mauritius, he taught on the MBA program of the Edinburgh Business School at Glamis Business School, which he co-founded. So he introduced me to Denise and the network, and we've had some sessions together, and I thoroughly enjoy being a part of your network, and I'm enjoying what y'all are about. So a little bit about me. So I've been happily married for 31 years. I say happily married because there is a difference, right? I have 4 grown daughters, 2 son-in-laws, only one in this picture. But I started working with small businesses in 1978. And I started my first brick and mortar business at the age of 21 years old, which was an automotive speed shop here in California. My second business I started when I was 25, real estate investment company. And this is what happened. I had an epiphany. I lost about $50,000 in 2 months' time of my own money. It literally brought me to my knees. And I don't know how many of you are religious or spiritual, but I threw up my hands at that time and I said, my God, I know I will not have anything outside of you. I will do whatever you want me to do, and I will go wherever you want me to go. How many of you know that's a dangerous prayer? So I ended up going to Bible school and mission school. I ended up going to the Republic of the Philippines, and I lived there as a missionary for 10 years. I traveled throughout the islands, teaching in seminars and conferences. After I got married, my wife and I started a nonprofit corporation. We founded a Bible training school, and we trained leaders who we believe were called to make a difference in their nation. So we have over 150 alumni all over the world right now in leadership positions. And when we got back from the Philippines in 2001, I started an internet marketing and consulting company, which we still run today, and later a catering company for my wife. She is an absolute awesome cook. But I said all that to mean this. We've been working with business owners for many, many years in multiple ways through all kinds of technology, recessions, pandemics, you name it. And so my heart is set truly on helping you. I completed my first book earlier this year, Annual Profit Strategies, The Insider's Guide to Increasing Your Business Bottom Line. So it's filled with about 10 different strategies that you can implement and you can see change today. And I'll show you how later you can get you a copy of that for free. I'm also an associate contributor for the Six Figure Coach magazine, and it's a magazine that's dedicated to training business coaches on some of the most innovative techniques, strategies, and tactics for business owners. So I'm going to share some of those strategies with you today, those strategies which are working for business owners like you every day. So I want you to do this. I want you to sit back. I want you to take notes. I want you to jot down questions, and I want you to think about how you can apply some of these strategies to exponentially grow your business. So today's game plan is to provide you with some actionable strategies. Put that in the chat, actionable strategies that you can use starting today. They're going to help you triple your leads, double your conversions, and grow your revenue without spending an extra dime on marketing or advertising. I'm not against marketing or advertising. I know we got some marketing and advertising people here, so I'm not against marketing or advertising, but I do want to give you some strategies that you don't have to spend an extra dime on marketing or advertising. So as we go through this presentation, like I mentioned, I want you to take notes, and I want you to evaluate your business in light of what's working best in your business today, and what is your biggest challenge? What can you do differently? Because if you keep doing the same thing, how many of you know you're going to keep getting the same results, right? So I want to talk to you about the 80-20 rule. Most of you heard it. It's also called the Pareto Rule. And what the Pareto Rule says for business owners is that 20% of what you do contributes to 80% of your profit. I want you to think about that. The reality is you're only doing a few things every day that make you the most money. 20% of what you do contributes to 80% of your profit. So the question becomes, can you say for certain what those 20% activities are? Go ahead and write them in the chat. What do you think those 20% activities are that contribute to 80% of your profit? So here's the challenge. As business owners, it is very easy to lose focus on what actually generates the most profits for us. And here's why. Most business owners, they find themselves working in their business and not on their business. So here's a strategy. You must schedule time to work on your business, not just in your business. You're only doing a few things daily that make you the most money. Write that down. We're only doing a few things daily that make us the most money. And this is what I've learned in coaching a lot of businesses over a lot of years, that day to day, week to week, month to month, it's really easy to lose focus. So I want to talk to you about numbers today. Bill Gates says, know your numbers. It is a fundamental precept of business. The key to recession-proofing your business is to know your numbers. All business is numbers. It's percentages, it's margins, it's KPIs. The numbers are what tells the story. And to illustrate this, I want you to know that your numbers can compound growth strategies. As business owners, we must understand that optimizing our profits is a function of implementing compounding growth strategies. So let me give you an example. If I gave you a penny today and I doubled it and gave you 2 pennies on day 2, and I doubled that, and on day 3, I gave you 4 pennies. How many pennies am I going to give you on day 4? I'm going to give you 8 pennies on day 4. So I'm doubling your pennies that you have every day. Do you know how much money you would have after 30 days? Write it in the chat. I can't see your chat. I can't read your chat, but go ahead and write it in the chat. This is how much money you'd have from compounding those pennies. Say it with me. $5,368,712 from doubling 1 penny, 1 cent every day for 30 days. Say wow. Say wow backwards. It means the same, right? Optimizing your profits is a function of implementing compounding growth strategies. So here's some keys. How do we optimize our profits? Number one, write this down. We focus on profit. You know, most business owners, they focus on growing revenue. I like to say this: revenue feeds the ego, but profit feeds the family. So you want to focus on profit because what you focus on grows. And here's a key: small incremental changes in multiple areas of your business produces big results. See, many business owners, they're under the notion that there's one thing that's going to be the thing that's going to cause growth in their business. Now, I've been around for a little while. Can you remember the days before websites? Probably not, because I'm probably older than most of you. But I started my internet marketing and consulting company back in 2001. Only large corporations had websites back then. And then when they became more popular, people thought, if I just had one of those, it would change everything. And then the same thing is happening now with social media. If I just get on the right platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, if I do SEO, etc., that would grow my business. And there's nothing wrong with those platforms. I utilize those platforms too. But here's the reality of the matter. Write this down if you hadn't already. Small incremental changes in several key areas throughout your business is what really makes the difference in your profit. And those small changes bring significant growth in revenue. It's like huge doors swing on very small hinges. So let's talk about this. Many business owners think that they have to make huge changes in order to grow huge profits. But there's only 5 key areas that make up the 20% that business owners should focus on. These are the 5 areas which make up the 20% that contribute to 80% of your growth. I want you to write this down. Leads, conversions, transactions, prices, and profits. All the activities that a business owner should focus on, that you and I should focus on to grow and scale our business and generate additional profit, are within these 5 areas. That's what we should be focusing on. That's what we're going to talk about today. So one of my tools is a profit growth calculator. And remind me later to give you the link so you can put your own numbers on it and see exactly what it would look like for your business. So it's all about understanding what incremental changes really are, different strategies, and how that gives you significant revenue growth. So I want you to follow along with me. I'm going to try to go slow enough, but not too slow. But I really want you to capture this type of thinking. So I want you to consider one 12-month linear period. Say like the last 12 months. And let's say, for example, this is your business. You see the leads, you see the conversions, you see the transactions, the higher prices, and the profits. So let's say that you are averaging 500 leads a year. Now that's only about 10 leads a week. It's not that much. Let's assume that you are converting 25% of those leads. That means that over the last 12 months, you've converted 125 customers. You made 125 sales from those 500 leads. Okay. Let's say that you only had one transaction per that customer, per that client. And let's say you charge an average of $500. Let's say this, for example, that's what your offer was. That's what the price of your product or your service was, $500. So that means based upon those 125 customers, your total revenue at $500 each is $62,500. You follow me so far? Your profits at 25% are $15,625. Are you following along so far? So let's say this is your baseline. Here's what I want you to think about, my friends. What if you were to increase your number in all 5 areas? Leads, conversions, transactions, prices, and profits. Let's say you were to just get a 10% increase in all of those 5 areas. What do you think that would look like for your business? Check it out. Now your leads jump from 500 to 550, 10%, right? Your conversions go from 25% to 27.5. That means now your customers for a 12-month period of time jump from 125 to 151. Okay. Transactions, 10% in transactions, that doesn't change, but your pricing, say your higher prices now go from $500 to $550. Look at your revenue. It jumped from $62,500 to what? $91,355. That's almost $30,000 in increase just by applying a 10% small incremental change to a few areas. Look at your profits. Say your profits increased from 25% to 27.5%. Now your profits jump from 15,625 to 25,125. What just happened? You just increased your profit by $10,000 just by making a small incremental change. How many of you could use an extra $10,000 in your bottom line? Type yes, me, in the profits. Okay, that's the power of compounding. I want to illustrate it to you another way. So we use proprietary cutting edge software that puts your business through 497 million, yes, million algorithmic sequences, which uncovers hidden profits, and it populates a custom roadmap. So for today, all we want to do is focus on these 3 circles, okay? Our annual revenue, our gross profit margin, and our net profit margin. Let's assume that this is your business right now. So let's assume that you have $250,000 a year in revenue. Let's assume your gross profit margin is 45%. And your net profit margin is 25%. I got to ask you, do you know your numbers? Because here's a tip. Every business owner should learn to read their financials. You should understand your profit and loss statements, your cash flow statements, your balance sheets. Learn the story that they tell you. Understand the trends, the relationships, the comparables. Most business owners that I talk to, even making 6 and 7 figures, don't know this stuff. What they do is that they give their activities to their accountant turns their activities into numbers and say, here you are, this is where you're at, this is what you owe the government, right? This is what you need to pay. But unless you understand your financials, you'll never understand how to take those numbers that the accountant give you and turn them back into activities that can grow your bottom line. That's the key. So if this was your business, $250,000 in annual revenue, 45% gross profit margin, and 25% net profit margin, what do you think your business would look like if you only focused on getting a 3% increase in a few different areas? How do you think that would transform your business financially? Let me show you. So we're going to keep it conservative, very minimum 3% increase. We're going to look at 7 different foundational areas: cutting costs, market dominating position, compelling offer, increased prices, drip campaign, more leads, digital marketing. These are foundational areas. So let's look at 7 of them, okay? Notice there the total profit impact. $31,800. In other words, your profit increases by 50% just by getting a measly 3% increase in several different areas. So what does that look like? Current revenue goes from $250,000 a year. It jumps by almost $50,000 to almost $300,000 a year. Say wow, type wow in the chat. Look at your current profit. Your current profit based upon these numbers was $62,500. Your new annual profit, $94,300. And your 5-year profit impact, $159,000. Do you know how easy it is to get a 3% increase over multiple areas? These are foundational areas. There are up to 40 different profit generating strategies that we could look at in your business. What's the takeaway? Small incremental increases in several different areas is absolutely powerful. It's the power of understanding compounding numbers. So how do we get more? So I'm going to take you through some examples. Make sure you write down some of these strategies. I believe they're going to be powerful for you. Let's talk about leads. As you work through these strategies, I'd like for you to ask yourself and rate yourself. Ask yourself, what is the relevance of this strategy to my business? And I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. And I want you to then ask yourself, what is your level of proficiency in these areas? So your relevance and your proficiency. I want you to grade yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. This is just for you, but I want you to be honest with yourself, okay? So here you go. Foundation, the fundamentals of marketing. Have something good to say, write it down. Say it well, write it down. Say it often, write it down. Have something good to say. That's what we call having a market dominating position. Ask yourself, what is it that you do that separates your business, your product, your service from everyone else in the market? What is your uniqueness? What is your unique selling proposition? That, my friends, are the foundation in the life of your business. Is so important. Why? Because other people, other businesses cannot compete on your uniqueness. What specific problem do you solve for people? Businesses that are alike can only compete on price. So you want to have a market dominating position. That's where we start with every business. You want to say it well. Saying it well means having a compelling offer. An offer so irresistible your clients can't refuse it. They just have to buy it. An offer of unparalleled value to your target prospects. One of the most profitable things you can do is to take time and create a market dominating position, and a compelling offer that your ideal clients can't refuse. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter what business you have or what industry you're in. You have to have someone to do business with, someone to interact with you, right? Either to buy a product or buy a service from you, period. And you have to say something so well today, especially now, because the competition is so fierce. So have something good to say it well, say it often. Saying it often means understanding the buyer's journey. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. So Dan Kennedy is considered the godfather of all marketing. And he said this, he says, the formula for generating more leads is three things: your market, your message, your media. Say that with me: your market, your message, your media. So I'm going to give you several case studies that shows how we talk about and how we use your market, your message, and your media, and how to say something good, say something well, and say something often. And I believe you're going to begin to see how this works. And I want you to begin to think about what it would look like in your business if you started to think like this for your own business. So this is a case study. You've seen this type of cosmetic surgeon. And in this case, one of our coaches was working with this cosmetic surgeon who specialized in what was called mommy makeovers. So they were spending about $6,000 specifically with Facebook. They were getting about 35 leads per month. And this was the actual ad. I want you to really begin to pay attention and just follow along with me because I'm going to drop some golden nuggets that you really should implement immediately. And it's going to absolutely be a game changer for your business. So this is what the headline said: nurture the body that will provoke true envy. Now, I don't know about you, but I have absolutely no idea what that means. And that's a problem. Likely someone told this cosmetic surgeon, hey, this will work. And for so many businesses, they just throw something out there that they think sounds good. And that's not how you market your business. So here's what I want you to understand. Every single thing you say, especially when it comes to being compelling and saying it well, it needs to enter the conversation taking place in the head of your prospect. Everything that you say, we can't afford to just go, oh, I like that, or hey, that makes sense, or that rhymes or sounds catchy. I am part of, let's see, 3 chambers and 2 networking groups. So I hear the 30-minute, the 30-second, the 45-minute elevator speeches. And so much of it is just platitudes. It's just platitudes. And platitudes don't really matter when it comes to connecting with your prospects. And we're talking specifically about why we do this, because we want to generate more leads for our business. And it doesn't matter the medium that you use. What you say matters. Write that down. What you say matters. And if you really want to get effective, realize that the only thing your prospect is thinking is, how can your product or service solve their problem? That's the foremost thing on their mind. Think about it this way. If you were in lawn care and a homeowner has a lot of weeds in their yards, if you had a direct mail piece in your mailbox, or you saw something on Facebook and it said, got weeds? That's probably entering into the mind of someone thinking, man, this yard is a mess. My wife is after me about cleaning up this yard. And you saw that advertising that said, got weeds? Believe me, it's going to get your attention. So we're going to apply the market and the message and the media in this case. So the market was this. It was identifying the fact that it was women 30 to 45 years of age with 2 or more kids. That's who we wanted to target with the market. The message was changed to this: you want the body you had before you had kids? We even changed the image to reflect more of a female 30 to 45 who they were going for. And then the media or the medium, they tracked this for the cosmetic surgeon. They did some Facebook ads, some direct mail, some radio, a little bit of TV, and look at the results. They generated 300 to 500 leads per month, 1,143% increase. They were only getting 35 leads a month. And all they simply did was literally changing the message overall. Why? They were entering into the mind of the prospect. So we're going to talk a little bit more about leads, but this is what I want you to understand. What you say is incredibly important, that you just can't throw a message out there without putting it through a filter, without sitting down and thinking about it. So here is another case study. A chiropractor, you've probably seen ads like this. He specialized in fibromyalgia diagnosis. He was getting three leads a month, running newspaper ads, some flyers. He was spending about $2,000 a month. And so this is where he was at. And you look at this example, they had just way too much copy, number one. And there was nothing well said and nothing compelling. And here's a phrase that we use in our industry: when you confuse, you lose. That's kind of what this does here. And it's just really too much to go into. But we looked at the market, women 18 to 85, having massive pain throughout the body. And so we applied our rule, the market. We applied our rule, the message. The message became, if you are diagnosed, the message became, if you're diagnosed and you're suffering needlessly, then you need to contact us. Here is a free report. And that is a significant and very big issue that goes on when people have pain. So they put together a video, they did it online, they actually tested it out on television, as well as several different ways through Facebook, cable TV, and did some direct mail. And this is what happened. These are the results they got: 137 leads in 4 days. Market, message, media. Why? Simply because they connected the dots with the message, with what the prospect is thinking. That's what I want you to take home right now. So write this down. The secret to generating leads is understanding the market, having the right message, and using the right media. And I want you to think about this for your business right now, the relevance. Is this relevant? Should be to your business. What is your proficiency right now? And you know what? Be honest with yourself, because that's going to help you understand where you're at and where you need to really begin to think about and what you can start working on right now. And you can take what I've just given you, you can tweak some things for your business, and I can guarantee you some things in your business will change immediately. You can apply it to your website. You can apply it to whatever you're doing on Facebook, any paid marketing. But begin to have that compelling message, and you'll see a dramatic effect for your business. How am I doing on time? Guess I got about 10 more minutes. Is that correct? So let's talk about Okay, wonderful. So let's talk about conversions, more conversions. At least we want to make sure we're on the same page. So conversions, these are the leads that we get. How do we convert more of the ones that we're getting? I'm going to teach you something and share something with you that is super, super important. We call this the buyer's journey. I want you to understand the buyer's journey. We said have something good to say it well, and say it often. And the reason why we want to say it often is because not everyone are now buyers. The majority of your prospects are what we call future buyers. So what they're doing, they're weighing the benefits. They're asking, why should I buy? Then they become soon to buy buyers. They are overcoming the objections that they have. Why shouldn't I buy? They are looking for information. They're looking for value. They haven't quite made the decision. And then finally, they become a now buyer. Less than 1%. Get this, less than 1% of your prospects are now buyers. So from the first contact that you have until they are ready to buy, you have to provide unparalleled value so that when they're ready to buy, they will buy from you. And if you have that compelling offer, they would be crazy not to buy from us. All buyers are on this journey. My wife hates to shop with me because I am a future buyer. It takes me a long time before I make a decision to buy something. You may be that way also. So, so the secret to more conversions is, one is downselling, offering a prospect an alternative at a lower price when they decline your original offer, and a drip campaign. Because on average, here's what you may not realize. On average, less than 1% of prospects are in the now buying mode. That means that 99% of who is interested in what you have to sell or what you have to offer, they actually want to do business with you, but they're not ready to make a purchase that day. Many of them want to do it in the future. And if you don't have a drip campaign, in other words, you don't have an ongoing process for a prospect to continue building a relationship with you, essentially what you're saying is this: for every 100 leads that you bring in, you have just lost 99 of them, because you have no mechanism to keep up with them. So you don't want to do that. So apply those two principles, okay? And here's the secret to converting more leads. Your offer. What you're saying that you're offering them has to be compelling. And I'm just going to go through this for the sake of time. This is a very standard website that you've seen. Let me ask you, what's the offer? What's the offer? There isn't one. There's a lot of information. There's a phone number. There's a place to fill out some things, right? When someone comes to your website or they see your Facebook message or whatever, think seconds. 3 to 8 seconds is what we have to capture them in that moment. If you don't have something compelling, they're out the door, they're scrolling on. And just the contact form alone, it's not enough in terms of being the front-facing thing that you want to say to them. You've seen this on multiple occasions. Here's another website. What's the offer? No offer. And so people say, oh, my marketing doesn't work. Marketing doesn't work. Advertising doesn't work. I've tried that. It didn't work. I tried this. It didn't work. I've heard that a lot over the years. The reason why it didn't work is that likely you are only appealing to the 1%. Think about that. So I'm going to go through here. This is how we changed this website for this chiropractor. He focused on chronic pain eliminated forever. Get a free report. The results, the ad generated over 135 leads in 4 days. Compelling offer. Those 137 clients at $2,500 each gained a total revenue of $92,000 in 4 days. Powerful. Good money. So again, the secrets to converting leads is doing well so that you make sure you have you create a compelling offer and have that follow-up sequence, that drip campaign to follow along from that offer. So I want to encourage you to think about if you were to give a report or some type of information, what that would look like to truly add value, add some education that someone's going to look at you and your business and go, you know what, they gave me some real value and they helped me to understand some things about their process or the product or whatever. And nobody else did, so I'm going to do business with them. So rate yourself in that area. Rate your proficiency in this area. Okay, more transactions. I'm going to jump through this real quick because of sake of time. The secret to more transactions is increasing transactions with your prospects. That involves getting them to buy from you more frequently than they do now. Upselling and cross-selling is the fastest and the least expensive way. You go to McDonald's, right? You buy a hamburger, a drink, maybe you got a medium size, and they ask you, would you like a large? Would you like an extra large drink? That's a way of upselling, okay? So upselling, offering a higher grade or quality or size of the item that the customer may be interested in at the point when the customer is ready to buy. And cross-selling means offering other products or services which complement the item the customer is interested in. Think about this. Would you like to supersize that? Or would you like menu 1, menu 2, menu 3? Here's the key. 34% of prospects will buy additional products or services at the time of the original purpose if they're asked to do so. Okay. Higher prices, I'm going to skip through this. The secret to higher prices, to increasing your prices is value. And you do that by bundling. And when you do that, you completely eliminate your competitions. Okay, profits. There's 2 major ways to increase your overall profitability: increase revenue or decrease your costs. Option 1, increase revenue. Option 2, decrease your costs, which is a lot harder because that's cutting your labor costs. Easiest way to increase your overall profitability is simply by raising your profits, your prices. Most small businesses haven't raised their prices since ever or never. And they're scared to death that any price increase, no matter how small, will lead to an exodus of mass customers. And that is simply not the case. So in closing my presentation, we talked earlier about developing a roadmap for you, and I'm going to open up the floor up in just a couple of minutes and let you ask some questions if there are any. If they're not, I like to joke around and say I've probably done my job very well, but I probably didn't. But I certainly want to make sure that you have questions answered if you have them. So here's how we develop a roadmap for your business. I want to show you what this looks like. We're going to give you a 17-page roadmap. It's literally a playbook, and it's going to show you exactly how to implement some of those strategies. And this is not going to cost you a dime because you're part of the Mauritius Business Network. So thank you, Denise. And because you're here and you're part of the MBN, we're offering you our $25,000 challenge. And what that means is we're going to show you how to increase your annual revenue between $25,000 and $50,000 or more, depending upon the current size of your business. And we're going to give you the keys to recession-proof your business. So we'll show you how you can find $25,000 in 45 minutes without you having to spend a dime on marketing or advertising, guaranteed. And we do that through our Profit Accelerator software. It's a fun and exciting process. And actually, one of the biggest things we often hear from business owners is, I've never been through those types of questions before, and I've never had that level of just realizing what small incremental changes can actually mean for my business. And again, this is not going to cost you a dime to do because of Denise and the Mauritius Business Network. So with that said, I'm going to open it up for questions. And if you like to express an interest in the challenge, then we'll schedule you for a 45-minute session, and you can go through Denise for that. There's her number. She can also send you out some information if you're interested, and you can send that back in, and we'll get that